Have you ever been aware of a wound that wants to be healed, and when you try to heal it, it's not letting you access it? Well, that's resistance. And in this video, you will discover what resistance really is, the different types of resistance, and how to let go of resistance so that you can unlock the life of your dreams. Here we go. Okay, so what is resistance? Okay, so resistance in spirituality refers to instances when we are aware that we have something that wants us to heal it, yet when we start down that rabbit hole, we notice that it's not letting us get to that particular story or limited belief that we want to dissolve. Okay, and the best example I can give you there is not that long ago, I had one of the worst panic attacks that I've ever had, which is only that time. Didn't know what was happening to me. I felt like quitting. I felt like giving up. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. My life doesn't make sense to me for the past 2 years. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay. By this, I mean going down rabbit holes and, keep on learning, keep on healing. So I reached out to my mentor. I explained to him exactly that. And in the back and forth text that we had, he said to stop resisting it. Okay. Because in that moment, I was resisting resistance, which you can do. Okay. Because I was aware that I'm in resistance and I was actually resisting that resistance. Okay. So I know that there's something there and it's not allowing me to go in there, and I noticed something there and I didn't want to go in there. So it was a lot going on at that time. So then I found a way to calm myself down with how he taught me and just notice resistance coming up and let it go. Notice resistance coming up and let it go. And what I was able to see after I let go of that resistance, I was able to go back to the house that I used to live in North Carolina back in 2019, 2020. And the house was empty, and the only thing that was there was the sofa. And when I walked into that house, I saw me. So that version of me that I was at that time. And the only thing that I did was I walked up to myself. I said, I hate you. And I left. And then I shared, like, this is what it didn't want me to see. And I felt the anger. I felt the hatred towards myself. I felt all of that once I actually let myself get there. And it was not a pretty place to be. Okay. So then why is resistance there? Okay. So the main reason why resistance is present is because it has a very simple role when it comes up. It's very, very simple. And it wants to keep you safe. Okay. So you see, it didn't want me to see the hatred that I had towards myself. It didn't want me to see that. Okay. But your higher self is telling you to look at certain instances because that's what it wanted you to heal. Okay. In that moment, that's what it wanted me to hear. Yet, my ego doesn't want me to go in it because it knows that the more I release, the more stories that I heal, the more limiting beliefs that I release, that I created when I survived, okay, the less power the ego mind has over me. And it doesn't like that. Okay. And eventually, after a lot of releasing occurred, okay, that ego mind might be even threatened, and you might feel like a part of you is dying. Okay. And in a sense, a part of you is dying. But that's the ego mind. It's not you physically, it's the ego mind. Okay. And I've experienced a lot of those things occurring to me, like a lot of those feelings that I'm going to die, but you're not going to die, you're going to be fine. Okay. Now, once we learn to quiet the ego mind, okay, and we're able to connect more to our divine self or our higher self, whatever you want to call it, okay, you're going to learn to let go of, learning to let go of resistance is crucial, okay, because it's going to help you in your healing journey. It's going to help you do exactly what you came here to do, okay. Now, there are different forms of resistance, okay, and I want to have, want to put in here a disclaimer. This does not mean that everyone's resistance is going to show up the same way that I'm going to explain it here to you, okay? I'm going to explain a few ways that it shows up in me and a few ways that I have seen it show up in the people that I work with, okay? Now, the most common way of resisting, okay, is avoidance, okay? Now, you have two ways of avoiding, okay? That's the way that I at least look at it, okay? You have your unconscious avoidance and you have your conscious avoidance, okay? Unconscious avoidance, again, comes up in different ways. Now, again, this is not telling you that this is the only way that it comes up, yet it does come up in different ways, okay? Now, sometimes you might feel like you're sad, you're angry, you're mad, whatever, okay? And whenever those feelings come up and you're maybe in a public place, maybe you're at work and you feel those feelings stirring up, you're like, it's okay, I'll deal with this later, not right now, okay? And you shelf it, which is perfectly fine. However, 99% of the population, when they do that, 99% of the population, when they do that, they never go back to it. They never go back to look at it, okay? That's one form of unconscious avoidance, okay? Now, another way that you could unconsciously avoid stuff is by making jokes or being funny, okay? People that make jokes or are funny, they're trying to mask the pain that's there, okay? And I know this firsthand because I used to be one of those people, okay? I used to, make jokes and all of that to mask the pain that was inside, okay? So I can tell you from experience that that is indeed possible, okay? Now, the other way of avoiding is by not feeling anything, okay? You actually feel numb, okay? Numbness was also one of my avoidance techniques for a very, very long time, okay? So because you don't want to deal with your emotions, or you don't know how to deal with your emotions in a safe manner, okay? You shut it down completely and you don't feel anything at all, okay? That's numbness. And I had to go there because I had a very bad breakup at 15 and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I just shut it down. Like I shut down all my emotions from that moment onwards. I never loved anyone the way that I loved that first person. And I'm aware of it now. I just know where it comes from because I'm aware of it now and I was able to go back and heal that. But yeah, that's where everything started to be shut down and everything started to be stuffed inside. Okay. Now, the other way that you can unconsciously avoid is by blaming others for your shortcomings. Okay. Now, here's why. Because as long as you have other people to blame, you don't have to look at yourself. Okay. So that's a very, very common way of resisting and avoiding. Okay. Now, a way of conscious avoidance, okay, is like, you know, that there's stuff that, you know, your higher self wants you to look at and wants you to go into and heal. Okay. Yet you're finding anything under the sun to keep you busy, so you don't have to do that. Okay. You intentionally make yourself busy so you don't have to go look at those parts that you don't want to look at. Yet they're so, so crucial for you to heal. They're so crucial for you to heal. Okay. Now, other forms of avoidance, or other forms of resisting, okay, would be coming from a place of I know, okay, and doing nothing about it. Okay. I know I got issues and I'll deal with them. That's what you tell yourself. Okay. And that's what you tell others, and in order to get them to back off. Okay. Yeah, I know I got issues. I'll deal with them. But the reality shows that you don't. Okay. Also, when you come from a place of I don't know, what is that? Well, I don't know is a very simple way for you to avoid doing the work, because, you know, it sets in confusion, and confusion comes from feeling too many feelings at the same time. And yet, if you're not trained to go and look at one feeling at a time, you won't know how to dissolve that confusion. Okay. The other way of avoiding is like, I don't see anything. Okay. So whenever I work with some of my clients and I ask them, hey, you know, go to a specific moment where XYZ, okay, and there's a question usually that follows after that. Like, well, I don't see anything, or that I see them, you know, trying really, really hard to think about it. You can't think. It's not your conscious mind that we're trying to unlock here. It's your subconscious mind. Okay. So if you don't see anything, okay, or that's because usually something very, very traumatic happened and it's not letting you go back there and heal it. The main reason for that is because it wants to keep you safe and secure. So if it knows that you're safe and secure, it's going to unlock that and going to let you go in there. But if it does not know that it's safe and secure to let you do that, it's not going to let you do that. Another way of avoiding doing the work would be to focus on someone else's issues. So if you're a parent, you know, you have your kids running around and all that, you know, you have maybe your spouse or whatnot, and they have a problem. It's easier to focus on them, because as long as you focus on them and helping solve their issues, you don't have to look at yourself to help you heal yourself. Okay. So it's very, very common within parents or relationships as well. Oh, I'll just do, you know, every day. I'll just focus all my attention on them. Why are you focusing your attention on them? Because you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to heal yourself. Okay. Now, why is it important to let go of resistance? Okay. It's very, very important to let go of resistance so that you can heal those wounds. Okay. Dissolve those limiting beliefs and stories that are holding you back. Okay. Now, if you don't do that, if you keep on, you know, shoving it aside, and, you know, keep on packing it in there, okay, that gets stored in the body. And the body is going to start giving you feedback as to what needs to be healed. Okay. For example, let's say that, you know, your leg starts to hurt on Monday, okay, and you realize that that was 3 weeks ago, and you still haven't dealt with that. Okay. Any signs of body pain is just energy stuck in your body, and this energy is the energy that you weren't able to process, or you didn't know how to process at that time when it occurred, yet it gives you a physical symptom so that you know how to unlock it. Okay. Now, if you don't have the right tools to ask yourself the right questions to go and unlock it, you're not going to be able to unlock it. Okay. But your body is the number one feedback mechanism that is going to help you unlock whatever it is that needs to be healed. Okay. And we can really heal ourselves. We really can heal ourselves. Now, I've been having conversations with my mother, and I've been helping her through her journey. And one day she shared with me that after a session that we had, I didn't know up until then that she's a pre-diabetic. I had no clue. And her right foot is all purple, and she had a cut on it. And if you know anything about diabetics, when they have a cut, it's very, very hard for it to heal. Okay. So she said that after we did a release with her, in one of our sessions, she saw that that wound actually healed. It closed up. Right. So it's very important for us to listen to our bodies. And whenever we see that, our body's breaking down, or, we're becoming sick more often and whatnot, that's the body's sign that, hey, you need to look at something. Okay. The most recent thing that I can give you with me is back in June, July. Okay. I had something growing up my side of the nose. It was a very, very weird thing, because it wasn't a pimple. It wasn't inside. It wasn't outside. I couldn't feel it, yet it hurt. It started to grow really big, and it hurt. It hurt really, really badly. And even when I didn't poke it, it still hurt. So when I had a session with one of my mentors, I told him about that, and he's like, okay, start rubbing it, see what comes out. Okay. Oh my God. What was that? That was this breakup that I had at 15 that had me shut down all my feelings. That was trapped in there. And as I became aware of it, as I was rubbing it, that's when I started to, go into it and be like, okay, it was really painful. It was really, really painful. That's another reason why it doesn't allow you to go into things, because your body and your higher self know that it's they already know where you are in relation to what you want to where you want to be. They already know. They already know what you want. They know where you are, and they know how far it is for you to get there. Okay. So they also know if you go down this rabbit hole, how much pain you're going to encounter, and sometimes they block you off. Okay. Now that's also going to test your commitment. How committed are you to get into the life that you want? Okay. Because if you know anything about transformation requires that a price be paid. Okay. And that's the price. Are you willing to go and relive all those things you stuffed so down deep in there all these years ago? Are you willing to do that? Okay. And another thing that not a lot of people know, we choose when we leave this life. We choose, not someone else. We do. Okay. Because if you learn how to keep on healing your body with all of these things that it keeps on telling you to look at, then you are going to have a very, very long and healthy life. Now that we understood what is resistance, why it's present, the different forms of resistance, and why it's important to let go of it, okay, I'm going to share with you a meditation practice that I use whenever I recognize that resistance is present. Okay. The way this meditation was born was because I wanted to go heal something one night, and I was met with resistance. Okay. So I started hearing this voice in my head starting to talk to me. Okay. But then I realized that it's not talking to me, it's talking to my chakras. Okay. So if you know anything about chakras, okay, there are 7 of them. Okay. So that's all the way from the bottom of your bottom, basically. And it's the root chakra, it's the sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Okay. And it started talking to all my chakras and getting them to calm down. Okay. To let go of that resistance and allow me to go heal whatever it is that it didn't want to let me see. Okay. So I use 3 variations of the same technique. Okay. Depending on what I want the outcome to be. Okay. Sometimes I talk to my chakras from a place of allow. Okay. Now I use this most often when I'm resistant to receiving. Okay. Resistant to receiving healing, resistant to receiving love, resistant to receiving anything. Okay. Any form of resistance when it's very, very high, and I kind of train my body and I kind of know what the level of resistance is in my body. I'm not necessarily sure how I can explain that to you, but if you're a beginner and let's say that you can't see anything, or you notice something's there, it's not allowing you to go in it, then I would say start with the allow one. Okay. And for example, one of the affirmations is allow me to love you. Okay. Now, other times I talk to my chakras from a place of feel. Okay. Now I use this when I notice that I'm numb and I'm not allowing myself to feel whatever is there. Okay. Now, the reason that it's important for us to get in touch with our feelings is because when we were little, okay, we were not taught how to deal with anything that was happening. Okay. Let's say something happened at 3 years old. We didn't know, we didn't have language, and we didn't have our analytical brains to help us interpret what was happening at that time. So what we do as kids, we attach a feeling to it. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, this is what I felt when that happened. Okay, and now as you go throughout life, let's say that you felt, I don't know, scared at 3 years old. Whenever you feel scared right now, it's not the moment. It's not whatever's happening in the moment. The moment is triggering something that has you go back to when you were 3 years old, because it wants you to heal that exact event at 3 years old. Okay. So it's crucial to allow yourself to feel, because once you dissolve the feeling, there's no more attachment, and you're free of that limiting belief, and you're ready to soar. Okay. So the way that the full on stage of what it is that we do as human beings to understand everything that happens when we are little goes something like this. Something happened, some things were said, okay, from that other person, if there wasn't any conversation involved, okay, then here's how you interpret it and what you made it mean about you. These are your stories, your limiting beliefs, okay, and we attached emotion to these stories, limiting beliefs. Now, once you go and look at the story, like, okay, so I have a story now, I'm not good enough. Great. If I go find the event and I really look at it, I can draw the emotions. Once I draw the emotions and I allow myself to feel them, everything dissolves. Everything washes away. Okay. That's why it's so important for us to allow ourselves to feel those emotions, because once we allow ourselves to feel those emotions, everything's dissolved. There's no more barrier for you in your future going forward. Okay. And one example for that, the most crucial one that I used even today I use it. I feel safe and secure. Okay. Safety and security are our biggest triggers. Safety and security. That's why I use that a lot with me. I feel safe and secure. Okay. And sometimes I talk to my chakras from a place of I am. I use this one when I want to let myself know that everything's going to be okay. Okay. And an example for that is like, I am safe and secure. See how it resonates differently. The flow that I'm going to describe with you, you can use it the same way. You can use it in a different way. You can use it however you want to use it. Okay, there's a series of affirmations that I'm going to go through. And not only affirmations, but kind of like commands that I'm going to talk to each and every chakra. Okay. And you might need to repeat this more than once. Okay, like I've used this with a client recently, and I used the allow set of commands to each chakra to make sure that her chakras come down and we can actually truly work in there. And I had to do it 5 times. Okay. Now, when I'm live with a person, I can feel their energy, and that's why I keep on doing it until I feel it shift. Okay. Sometimes it might be 3, sometimes it might be 5, sometimes it might be 10. Okay. Just know when you feel that shift, and you will feel it. Okay. When you feel that shift, go on and move to the next one. Okay. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do for you, I am going to record the allow set. I'm going to record it for 5 times each per chakra. Okay. Then I'm going to go into the feel set. Okay. That I'm going to record it for you for 3 different times per chakra. And then I'm going to record the I am set. So you can have it. Now, you don't have to necessarily go through all of them. If you feel that you're great with the allow set, perfect, pause it there, go and do your work, go and heal, go and clean. And if you feel like you need to keep on going, then keep on going. Okay. This is also something that you can use. Okay. I'm going to give you a little document in the video description where you can take the exact words that I use and you can repeat them to yourself. Okay. Because I want to teach you how to heal yourself rather than be dependent on someone else. Okay. Because you're not the only person that you're always going to have with you in any given situation at any given time is you. Okay. That's why I want to give you the tools to use them in the moment that you need to use them. Okay. So, and it's going to come natural. It's going to come natural to the other point. Okay. So I'm going to take it to a small grounding, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take you through the allow meditation, then the feel meditation, and then the I am meditation. Make sure that your spine is straight. If you like to go into a meditative position, you can do that. You can have your legs crossed. You can just sit upright in your chair. That's up to you, however you want to do it. Now, I am going to black this out for you so you don't see what I do in the other end. But just listen to my voice and start breathing. Okay, and your breath is going to be from the belly. It's not going to be from the chest. Okay, so you want to make sure that you breathe from your belly. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now, stand up straight or on your however you want to put yourself. Okay, I was talking a bit so you can get yourself comfortable. Okay, so however you want to do this, just make sure that you have your spine straight. Okay, whether sitting down or in a yoga meditative space, just be relaxed. Okay, and spine straight. Now we are going to close our eyes. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 deep breaths in. Okay, so take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Taking a deep breath and hold it. And let it go with a sigh. Now, as you keep your eyes closed, you're going to listen to the sound of my voice. And you're going to repeat after me. I allow myself to feel safe and secure with myself. I allow myself to feel safe and secure with myself. I allow myself to feel safe and secure with myself. I allow myself to feel safe and secure with myself. I allow myself to feel safe and secure with myself. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I allow myself to feel the flow of inspiration and creativity flow through my body. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to step into my own power with confidence. I allow myself to step into my own power with confidence. I allow myself to step into my own power with confidence. I allow myself to step into my own power with confidence. I allow myself to step into my own power with confidence. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to love myself. 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 Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to speak my truth. 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 Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to see the parts of me that I have buried. I allow myself to see the parts of me that I have buried. I allow myself to see the parts of me that I have buried. I allow myself to see the parts of me that I have buried. I allow myself to see the parts of me that I have buried. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I allow myself to connect to the universe. 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 Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. This concludes our meditation for the allow set. You want to pause and go into whatever it is that you're trying to heal earlier and see if you can. And if you can't, feel free to unpause and continue listening to the feel meditation. So take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel safe and secure with myself. I feel safe and secure with myself. I feel safe and secure with myself. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I feel the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel confident with myself. I feel confident with myself. I feel confident with myself. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel love for myself. I feel love for myself. I feel love for myself. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel comfortable speaking my truth. I feel comfortable speaking my truth. I feel comfortable speaking my truth. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel compassion for past versions of myself. I feel compassion for past versions of myself. I feel compassion for past versions of myself. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. I feel divinely guided and inspired. I feel divinely guided and inspired. I feel divinely guided and inspired. Take a deep breath and hold it. And let it go. Now again, you want to pause this, see if you can go into whatever it is that you want to go into. And if you can, great. And if not, you can keep on. So take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. I am safe and secure with myself. I am the flow of inspiration and creativity through my body. I am confident with myself. I am love. I'm comfortable speaking my mind. I am compassionate towards past versions of myself. I am divinely guided and inspired. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Just allow yourself to be in the present moment with whatever it is that's coming up for you. By this point, we have unlocked and let go of a lot of that resistance. And it should allow you to go in and see what it was trying to protect you from. If there's still resistance, go back through the recording and listen to it one more time. And once you're done, you can open your eyes. So do you see how you relax through the meditation and let go of everything? Like, I'm very relaxed. There's nothing happening. I can go in and do very deep healing right now. And it's just a very safe space that you created yourself to allow yourself to go there. So whenever you need to do that, here's a very good tool that has not only helped me, but it has also helped the clients that I work. So I appreciate you for taking the time to be here, and I will see you in a future video. Take care.